Hello after day 4 of hiking the Pekoe Trail to spread the message that adventure prevents dementia and we can all boost our brain at any age or stage of life. Today I completed stages 5 and 6, which covered 29 grueling kilometres or 18 miles from the PUNDALOYA River and waterfall to the town of KOTAGALA and its brightly painted Tamil Hindu temple, which is known as a Kovil. And we're up to the letter E in the acronym Adventures. What does E stand for? Well, right now E stands for exhausted. I'm seriously worried about my body's capacity to handle another 9 days of this. I have blisters on blisters, leech bites on leech bites, and bruises on bruises. It's not today's planned lesson, and I still haven't talked about what E stands for, but what came to mind today was that I've made this trek harder than it needs to be. I was feeling satisfyingly tired after the first stage today, which was 15.5 kilometres. And remember, none of this is flat. It's all up and down hills all day long. But it was great. All my senses had been enriched by the sights, sounds, smells, tastes and textures of everything I was seeing and experiencing. But by the end of the next 14.5 kilometres, I felt annihilated. I had lost the capacity to appreciate my surroundings. All I was doing was focusing on putting one foot in front of the other and getting to the end, which is so not the point of this. I mean, the Pekoe Trail is about the journey, not the destination, about all the beauty and colour and stories along the way. But I was just too shattered to notice. And I thought, this is actually a metaphor for how we sometimes live our lives, trying to fit too much into too short a time so we get too exhausted to enjoy it. Why do we do it to ourselves? Or maybe it's just me. I have to stop racing from one experience to the next, because even if all those experiences are inherently fulfilling, if I'm worn out, even fun things are no longer fun. So, E. What does E really stand for? E stands for exercise. Walking, jogging, cycling, swimming, rowing, dancing, pickleball. Any form of movement that you enjoy stimulates the growth of new brain cells and new connections between brain cells. Aim to do aerobic, also known as endurance exercise, for 30 minutes or more every day. This will halve our lifetime risk of getting dementia. That is such a huge gain for such a modest effort. How much do you have to push yourself? Well, it has to be moderate to high intensity. And moderate intensity means you are too breathless to sing along to a song, but you could still just carry on a conversation. That is the kind of level you want to work to. You don't have to be just so tired that you can't talk or think or anything, but it's just make it an intensity where you can't sing, but you can just carry on a conversation. Equally important is strength training to maintain our muscles. The stronger our muscles, the stronger our mind. Why? What we found recently is that if our grip strength is weak, so is our mind, our mental capacity. The worse people are, the less strong they are with their grip, the less they score in tests of memory, processing speed, vocabulary. So test your hand grip strength. If it is lower than expected for your age, let this be motivation to improve your strength, because most people don't realize that we lose 5 to 8% of our muscles every decade from our mid-30s onwards. So if you do the maths, from our mid-30s to our mid-70s, we could lose 1/5 to 1/4 of our muscles. And it makes a difference, because losing muscle actually means, equates to losing brain tissue. So do you have to go to the gym and pump iron? If you enjoy it, like I do, go ahead and do it. But you could lift weights at home, use bands, do push-ups, climb stairs, squat up and down during TV ad breaks, get a personal trainer, or just Google strength training using my own body weight to find hundreds of ways to maintain your muscles in the comfort of your own home. And do this about 2 or 3 times a week for 30 minutes per session. Today I did 8 hours of walking, scrambling, climbing and crawling, so I think I've covered all the required forms of exercise. Make your motto, a dance a day keeps dementia away, because dancing is physically, mentally, socially and mood stimulating, so it ticks 4 brain boosting boxes in one. So what are you waiting for? Put on some music right now and start experiencing how movement is medicine. See you tomorrow for the next letter.